Wondering how you can generate $10 million worth of sales volume in 1 year through Instagram? We got the one and only Heidi Harris out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and she's going to share with us exactly what she does to make that happen. All right, this is fun. Sometimes we get to talk to our friends, and that's what's fun about this is I get to spend some time with my friend Heidi Harris today. Heidi, you and I have talked offline a lot about this kind of stuff, but one of the things that's so impressive to me is that the way you use Instagram in your business. And so if you don't mind, if somebody doesn't know you, give them a little background on who you are, where you're located, maybe a little bit about your business so they can kind of get a gauge on that. And then also, I'm gonna give you about 5 things to say. Also, share with them what got you started on Instagram. Why did you get started on social media?
Cool. Well, hey, Jimmy, always amazing to see you. I am Heidi Harris. I am based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, Berkshire, Hathaway, York, Simpson, Underwood, and I represent the Home Sweet Heidi team. So we have a team that is here. And last year we did a little over 37 million. And I would say, gosh, it's hard to know what our average price is right now because the market's so bonkers. But I'd say our average price is normally about 360, 375 in there. And I am not originally from Raleigh, North Carolina. If you've tuned into Jimmy's podcast before, you know that I am from a small town in Westminster, Maryland, and grew up on a farm. So when this farm girl moved down to Raleigh, North Carolina, she had a sphere of influence of about 8 people. And got my real estate license, didn't really think that one through. And I needed to find people. I needed to know who to share this passion and excitement and ins and outs with. So I went to my cyber friends on Instagram, and it's been very good for us. Last year, we closed a little over 10 million from Instagram alone. So it's been an amazing tool for us. And I'm excited to tell everybody here how they can do the same in whichever market they're in.
So Heidi, this is what's super encouraging is that literally, I know, you don't start by getting $10 million worth of business, over 30% of your business coming directly from Instagram. And what's great about this with you is a lot of this has happened recently. The evolution of everything has begun to really upswing in the last year and a half, year or so. So I'm excited to go through this. Let's talk about kind of what drew you to Instagram and kind of some of the things that you're seeing right now that get you excited about the future of Instagram as well, if you don't mind.
Sure. So what originally brought me to Instagram was actually some bad advice. I trusted somebody who is big into marketing, and she said, stick with Facebook. Instagram's not for business. Like Facebook, people are expected to have like Home Sweet Heidi Realty, and Instagram, it's not that. And that was before this whole like influencer thing came over. It was more like, here's some pictures of my kids, right? So I can understand at that moment how that advice might have been solid, but then I was seeing other people in different industries do it. And so me and Renee, who's one of my team members, we talked, and originally it wasn't a real estate page. Originally it was a what's going on in Raleigh page. And then it morphed into, keeping up with everything that's going on in Raleigh and your business is a little more complicated than I thought. But it morphed into more of a real estate page. And we don't just talk about real estate, right? Because real estate's super exciting. Bravo is making millions of dollars off of real estate. So yeah, people want to know about it, but it's also like real estate is a firm object, right? But like we're all humans. Yes. Right. So like, what's the human story? And that is the engagement that I see people really reacting to on our page, which has been cool. And like you said, it's been over the past like year and a half, 2 years, where we've really taken off. I would say we probably had, and this is awful. I don't care about followers. I don't know how many followers we have. I know that it's less than 3,000. The only reason I know that is because when it's 3,000, I want to do something really cool. I just don't know what that is yet. But we started out with a couple hundred followers, and I learned. I got business. I networked. It's social media, so I was social on it. And little by little, we've grown. Follower by follower, we've grown. And to be honest with you, Jimmy, some of my friends don't follow me on Instagram. Right. And that's fine. We're still really good friends, but the amount of networking I've been able to do on Instagram, especially with other realtors, is amazing.
Yeah.
So when I say we closed about 10 million last year, that's not just, hey, I'm Jamie and I've been following you for a year on Instagram. Yes, that happens. But also it's like, hey, I'm Jamie from Phoenix, Arizona. I've been following you. I've got somebody moving to Raleigh. So it really is a double scoop here.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And listen, what I want us to do today is I want to take it from the basics, from the beginning, so that it doesn't matter where anybody is on their Instagram journey, I guess you could call it, wherever they are. Let's take them from that. Listen, let's share if you don't mind, share your screen. Let's go to your first page, because I think the first impression is so critically important, getting that on lock. So if you don't mind, just walk through kind of your first page, what it is you do on your description, any of those things that you can share on some tips there. And then we're going to go into building the audience and how you started doing that. There she is.
Let's do that. Let's make people some money here, Jimmy. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. All right. So you can see I've got all the social medias, but today we are talking about Instagram.
Right.
So on Instagram, there's a couple different ways that you can set up your account. You can be a personal account, you can be a business account, or you can be a creator account. So for a while, I was a business account because I wanted to have, I don't know if you can see it. See down here where it says Linktree /HomeSweetHeidi. I wanted to have a website on there.
Yes.
It's super important to me. If somebody wants to get a hold of me, I want them to be able to get a hold of me. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible. So I had a business page for a while. And then because I am who I am, I really wanted music in my stuff. So then I switched from business to a creator account, which if somebody's like, okay, whoa, you've lost me already. Yeah. Just get a creator account if you want music. If you don't want music, do a business account. Okay. Right. But there are also plenty of people that are very successful with a personal account. It is really whatever you desire. For me, I wanted the music, so I did creator account. Okay.
Right. Hey, can you speak to Linktree? Because if not everybody knows that, I don't know if you can click on that right now to show them what that is and the reason why you use Linktree, if you don't mind.
Perfect. Yeah. So perfect question, Jimmy. So Linktree, what it is it's instead of just having homesweetheidi.com, which is my website, I want to have different areas that people can find me on different things. And that's what Linktree is. It's a tree, right? So it's just like all the different branches of people where they can find you. So, all right. So this one is Let's Work Together. That's where people can immediately contact me. Again, I don't want anybody to have any hard times contacting me. Send me your referrals. That's right. What's your home worth? We have that on there too. Let's talk about selling. Let's talk about buying, our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So again, if somebody's really into what we're doing on Instagram, maybe they want to check out our YouTube channel and they can just click right there and it takes them right to it.
Perfect. And you're limited with Instagram to only that one website or one link. And what Linktree does is it gives you that ability, right?
Exactly. Yep. And you can put whatever you want on there. So even if like I have my own personal Instagram account.
Right.
See, this is my personal Instagram account. If I wanted to have that on my business page, I could have that too.
Right.
So whatever you would like, this is your creation. It's important that people, when they do this, you want to be as authentic as possible. I find that a lot of us realtors have an impersonation syndrome where we're like, oh, well, that's how somebody does it. And they were successful that way. So I'm going to do it the same way. And if that's what you need to get started, just get started. That's fine. But it took me a while to really figure out my groove. So Linktree, I mean, first of all, just it's free. Get it, set it up, put things in there. You can always play with it later.
Let's talk about your description here. You use a few things. I see the use of emojis, some different things there. Tell us about the thought process on what you're posting there as far as who you are as an introduction.
So what I always say is this right here, y'all, this is my resume. Yeah. Somebody that doesn't know me, they're going to click on this. And I'm sure there's some amazing Instagram research somewhere about like in 2 seconds, somebody decides that they're going to follow you or not. Like I'm sure that's a stat somewhere. But for me, I wanted to make it look inviting. I want people to get a great taste of who I am. So if they don't want to follow me, that's fine. But I want them to want to follow me. Now, the cool thing about Instagram is it's an application. So it wants you to use the application. And I'm going to say that a few times through this podcast. So what I mean by that is you're going to see everything on here is filled out. So my title at the top, Home Sweet Heidi, filled out. Category, real estate agent, filled out. All of that is like Realtors in Raleigh, NC, but I also have an emoji. It wants me to use emojis. It wants me to use text. It wants me to use it all. Let me if you hit edit profile, see that right under my link tree?
Right.
You can click edit profile. That's where you fill out everything.
Right.
You just go through there, fill it out the best that you can. Make sure that you have your image up there. And just a fun tip, I don't do this, I wish I did, but bright colors like yellow, oranges, greens, stuff like that are very attention getting. So if somebody's like, oh, I want to put a picture up there, but I don't know what to do, like get yourself in a really cute, well, not cute, handsome, yellow shirt and like snap that picture. It's very, it catches the eye really well.
I'll take cute. I mean, that doesn't bother me. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, I'll take that.
The other thing is, and now if you're just getting started, this is a perfect place to get started. You know, make sure your picture's up there, make sure your profile's filled out. That's awesome. The next thing is probably like posting and how quickly to post. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's talk. Let's say, because listen, this has been a progression. Let's talk about some of the things that you did when you began posting. Woo! Some of the things that's evolved into, if you don't mind.
All right, I'm going to show you. Y'all that are just listening, you might want to go ahead and look at this so that you can see how ugly my first post is. Hey, y'all, come check out how bad my Instagram was.
That's right.
Sorry, it's taking a while. I didn't.
This is what's good about this is it's inspiring, because people are like, well, gosh, I don't have some of the things we're going to talk about you have to have it look so professional now. It didn't start that way. And if you're going to build an audience, authenticity is where audience followings begin, because they can relate to you, you know. And so I think some people, they get confused by this and they want it to be perfect to begin with. You know, I mean, let's talk. I mean, I'll say this: when we first started, the best tool we had is in our pocket right now. It's our phone. We've got the best camera. We've got all the things that we need editing wise and availability. And some people just get lost in this. But let's start and go ahead and share some of these and give us a description of what we're looking at.
Okay, so this is Heidi Harris in Raleigh, North Carolina in June of 2017. Okay, this is our first post. This is the beautiful Renee that I was talking about and how we started this. As you see, we had hashtag Oak City Living, because Raleigh's the city of oaks. Okay, so June, I mean, not to be a showstopper, but we got 6 whole likes. Okay,
great.
We had, I mean, okay, well, we had 4 hashtags. That's really amazing.
Yes. Let's talk about the power of hashtags, because I think this is a great segue into that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Hashtags are, see, this one got 0 likes, right? So hashtags are amazing. Hashtags are how I grew this. So if somebody's like, okay, I want to get 100 more followers in the next month, how do I do it?
Hashtags. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
let's talk about.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, because this is so powerful, because the
so
person that's out there is like, how am I going to build an audience?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some of the content you can put out, but reality, optimizing it through the hashtags is where everybody's building audience right now. So you want to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but please speak more to that, Heidi.
No, Jimmy, you know me, I'll just go out on a tangent. So you got to really rope me in sometimes. All right. So hashtags, the way that I see it is there's macro and micro hashtags. What I mean by that is like, I'm in Raleigh. Raleigh's a macro hashtag. That's a big one. Micro might be Raleigh home. Okay. Yeah. So what I do, I'm gonna cheat. Okay, guys, you're gonna want to cheat too. Yeah. So, oh gosh, there's something else I want to say. Jimmy, will you remind me that I want to talk about the opening sentence?
I already know what you're saying. Yes, absolutely. I'll remind you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So y'all, this is my hashtags right here. You can see at the bottom where it says hashtag Home Sweet Heidi, hashtag BHHS, hashtag Realtor, hashtag Realtors, right? So you're going to see those are all like Home Sweet Heidi is a micro hashtag. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Yes. BHHS, macro, it's huge. Now, what I do, this is for iPhone users. And if you're listening, I'm going to walk you through how to do this.
Yeah, this is so powerful.
Yeah, if you go, wait, I want to go into settings. If you go to your settings, and now if you are a Droid user, I'm sure this is an option, but it might be a little different. So just Google it. But you're going to go into auto and you're going to see auto correction right there.
Yes.
Click on that. And then it's going to take you to, see text replacement. Click on text replacement. This is like if you're on the way and I want to text Jimmy, hey, Jimmy, I'm on the way, but I type in OTW instead. But when I send you a text, it autocorrects to on the way. This is exactly what we're doing, but we're doing it with hashtags. So you guys are going to see this right here. So in my auto correction, I'm clicking on text replacement. My shortcut is hashtag home sweet Heidi.
Yes.
I don't want it to be like hashtag the, because every time I'm sending a text, if I send a text, I say the, it's going to autofill this in. So you want it to be a little unique, something you normally wouldn't text. So that's why I started out with hashtag home sweet Heidi. Feel free to be like hashtag Jimmy or like hashtag,
or homes in Destin or Destin Homes or whatever you're at, wherever you are, do that. Something that's unique and that you're just going to use it for hashtags.
Exactly. And then it auto fills in that exact same text that I had right there. So another tip, if you're using hashtags, is there is a free app called Spacey. It's right here in the middle of my social media. It's SPACIE. It is a free app. Download it.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I'm going to show you my 2 hacks. These are both when it comes to that text replacement that I just showed you. So if I write in Insta, short for Instagram, Insta, boom, my contact information goes right there.
That's it.
If I do hashtag home sweet Heidi, boom, it goes right there. So this is on everything. Like
right.
If I'm putting in the effort, social media is a lot about effort. It's not for everybody, but if you want to make more money, it's a free, intense way that you can make money. Yeah. So if you can put in your hashtags and this stuff with every single one, it's going to be amazing.
So powerful, such a time saver too. And that plays right into, let's talk about that first sentence, because I mean, it is powerful when you're doing this, if you don't mind.
No, I'd love that. So the other night I did something crazy, guys. I turned my phone off. And so I posted about it on social media. All right. So here's my thing. I did something crazy last night. I want people to think like, oh, what did she do last night?
That's exactly right.
And I want them, you see right below that, if you're listening, you might not be able to understand it, but if you look on Instagram, you're going to see more in gray. See that right underneath that?
Yeah.
If I click on more, then it has the rest of it. Now, what's important about this, you guys, is it's Instagram. They care about algorithms.
Right.
Algorithms love it when somebody's liking your post, sharing your post, commenting on your post, and also if they're reading it. So the more things that I can do to invite people to read more on my Instagram is only helping my Instagram grow.
Absolutely.
So when I did, again, on that Spacey app, because on Instagram, it wants to make it all one paragraph. So going back to that Spacey app that I was telling you all about, I can say I did something crazy last night. Okay. And then see, I can go ahead and have those spaces in there, which make it so much easier to read. Right. And then all you got to do is you just convert it and then you paste it in Instagram. And for those that I also do Facebook, I also do LinkedIn. If you want to do that, you just copy and paste.
Yeah, this is so good. So let's do this. Let's talk about now. So we've got the foundations, we got the fundamentals. We know that if we're going to build audience, make sure you're using hashtags. Let's talk about the type of content that you're seeing that gets the best results. And then let's go into frequency, if you don't mind, on ideal. Okay.
So there's a lot of research out there that says that if you include people or pets in your post, they will get more engagement. And I understand that. I mean, for example, the other day was Father's Day, right? And here's a picture of my dad and his thighs. And it was a shout out to my dad because he was a realtor. He taught me customer service. He taught me, how to have boundaries with real estate and, all these things that take us way too long to learn. So it was a Father's Day shout out to him. Now that's me as a little girl. That's interesting. Yeah. Right. Like, Jimmy, did you ever want to see me as a little girl? Probably not, but here you go.
There it is, right there.
Yep, there she is in all of her beauty. So that's interesting to people. It really wasn't about real estate. I made it about real estate because my dad's a great dad, but I made it about real estate because that's interesting and I'm making real estate human. Okay. So that one got good engagement. I mean, this is just, okay. People. Let's talk about how boring this should be. Okay. This is a new team headshot. So I could say new team headshot. And
Nobody cares.
nobody cares.
Yeah.
So what I did is I thought, okay, well, if I'm a consumer and I want somebody fighting for me in probably the craziest real estate market we might ever see in our lifetimes, what would I want to know about these people?
Right.
And so I immediately thought, we're sharks.
Yes.
Okay. And then I got on Google and I Googled quotes about sharks. And I found you're either the shark or the bait. The choice is yours. Boom. And then I just took off running with the rest of the content.
Yeah.
Again, you see my little cheat right there with my contact and my hashtags on everything.
Yes.
The cool thing about Instagram is we have these things called reels. And if you haven't played with a reel, it's okay. If you haven't played with, and it's REEL, if you haven't played with a reel, it will take you a long time at first and you will get intimidated. It's new, it's different. This one right here took me 14 minutes, which is longer than it takes me to do an Instagram post, but Instagram wants me to use reels. It wants me to use IGTV. IGTV is Instagram TV, where you can post something more than 60 seconds. Right. So it wants me to use all of its options because it's only going to help my algorithms. So I try to do a reel as often as I can, but Jimmy, like full transparency, I don't do it nearly as much as I should because I'm busy selling houses.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, so that's good. And then also like, okay, so we closed a house. I got my local designer. See how the picture is animated?
Yes.
I want Instagram to think this is a video, not a picture. So I got that done. If you are out there and you're like, oh, that sounds cool. And y'all, I don't think that this was very expensive. Just send me an email, Heidi@homesweetheidi.com, and I'll tell you who to get in order to do that.
Right.
But we do videos for all of our listings. So again, Instagram doesn't just want pictures, it also wants videos. So we make sure that we incorporate that as well. Now, Jimmy, I'm gonna stop sharing just for a quick second, if it's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You asked about frequency. Frequency is hard because if you're anything like me and my team, you will blow it out with 9 closings in 1 week.
Right.
And then the next week, you're negotiating repairs or trying to get a new client or like, going to the gym and making small talk with somebody because you need more people in your SOI, right? So it's not always closed this house and got this one under contract. I wish it was. But sometimes it's like, ooh, I don't know what to do. So on my team's contract, we have that you will post something social media related twice a week.
So these are all your team members, not on the Home Sweet Heidi, on their personal, correct?
Yes. So my team chooses not to have their own business account. So they have their personal account. So like Mike on my team, he has,
this is good.
M Lane Realtor is his thing. Let me know. It's got to follow him. But so he just got married, right? So it's a picture of him like, hey, I just got married. And then the next day it's like, hey, I'm at this home inspection. This is what's going on. So it's at least twice a week. The idea with twice a week is I love social media. And I know not everybody has that passion. So what I'm trying to do is help my team stay in front of people, because the goal at the end of the day is when somebody thinks real estate, I want them to think Heidi Harris.
Absolutely.
So twice a week is a good reminder, along with like, at least with, and then like, I was at this hockey game and I did this. Great, cool. But also it's a good reminder of what we do for a living. I did have one friend early in my career that said, oh my gosh, Heidi, I should have used you to be my real estate agent. I just completely forgot that you're in real estate.
Never again. Never
again.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, I maybe post 3 at a minimum times a week on social media.
Let me give you,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, this is the beauty. You've built a very deep, engaged audience with 3 to 4, sometimes more, sometimes less. Let me give you some things that we've been working on consistency wise, and that has been really driving growth and engagement for us. Consistency is something, I've always said repetition builds your reputation. And so some of the things that we've been doing is we've been working with our agents to even have a schedule for certain types of posts on certain days and scheduling that out using something, along the lines that gives them that, like a Hootsuite or something that gives them a tool that gives them the ability to plan some of this out. So we are encouraging some of our agents really to get involved with certain things. Motivation Monday could be something that you're doing to better yourself or that you think would help better other people, quotes, that type of thing. Tuesday, our mutual friends, you do a lot of Tuesday tips, I mean, so we've got friends that do those. And then we've got Wednesday. What I like to do on Wednesday is we'll do some type of Wednesday. We do some type of a hero in the community. We'll try to highlight someone else. We're shining the light and making someone else the hero. Could be a past buyer, could be someone else. We'll do testimonial Tuesdays or Thursdays. Sometimes what we'll have one a week, because like you say, they'll come in bundles. Well, then if we've got 6, we don't want to do 6 testimonials, which are great, on the same day. We spread them out. We do Friday favorites. We try to do something more personal on those. So we're trying to get a mix. I think when people get to a place, especially where they can get organized and they can have consistency on that, that's where that really starts to grow. You've done this, where you're having these things and it's consistency on the numbers. It's just not on the days, and you've seen dramatic growth. So I just think there's no one way to do this. I just think that the encouragement is you've built over $10 million worth of production in less than 3 years in reality, with doing 2 to 3 posts a week. Some people, they get overwhelmed and think it's got to be this thing. I think that's super encouraging. So let's talk about that from a standpoint. Have you found any particular times that are better to post, or it's just in your situation, it's been where you've just done it as it comes available, or you have the time?
So I don't schedule things.
Mm-hmm.
I could. It's just, I mean, you know me, Jimmy, like I am like authentically authentic. So I want it to be like, hey, I'm here right now. Like this morning, I don't know if you saw my Instagram story, but I don't do sugar. I don't do caffeine. Believe it or not, this is natural Heidi. Right. So I had a dessert last night. Now, normal people have a dessert, they enjoy it, they go to bed. Me, I was up at 3:30. So I'm up at 3:30, like ready to rock and roll. I'm working and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go check on this house. So I got in my car and at 5 something this morning, I'm out checking on a house. You can't schedule that.
No.
Right. Mm-mm. So, no. And it was funny, right? So it was like, hey, because I can't process sugar like a normal human, this is where I am. And I'm checking on this for my client. And like, this is what I'm doing. So to me, that works. But if you can do things earlier in the morning, I find that that's really good. I find that most Americans, when they wake up, the first thing they do is grab their phone.
Right.
So for us, like if I can do something in the 5 o'clock hour, it's gold. Right. And if you have a creator or a business account, it shows you how many people have seen and engaged with your stories. Yeah. Right. And that's something we should probably talk about next, is stories and how to do those.
Yes.
But if I post something first thing in the morning, my stories are seen so much more than if I post something in the evening. However, to me, if I'm out there, I'm out there. So yeah. I'm not going to not post something at night just because I might not get as much engagement. I'd rather somebody miss it than me not even take a shot.
Absolutely. Let's talk about stories. Let's talk about the different types of content, if you don't mind, because I think this is critically important. Some people get bogged down and they're not knowing the basics. Let's talk about the basics of the difference between story, kind of what you're looking for on those as far as in addition to posts.
Cool. So I'm going to my page. Okay. So this down here, these are the posts. They are there forever and always, unless I delete it. Okay. These are my highlights. We'll talk about that next, if that's okay, Jimmy.
Yes, please.
Again, remember guys, this is my resume. I want to make sure that my highlights look good. And I want to make sure that if somebody's doing a deep dive on my page, that they're getting something out of it. So we'll come back into that. Now stories are only available for 24 hours. So it's not something that's going to stay forever unless you put it in your highlights.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I just told y'all about, oh gosh, that's a beautiful picture. I'm trying to, okay, there we go. So like, you were like, okay, well, where do we get inspiration for stuff? Okay. So I'm at a house yesterday that I knew the moment that my client sent me this address, I knew that this was going to be their next house. Didn't look at it on the MLS, nothing like that. I just knew that this could be their next house. Now, that's what I'm talking about when I say it's so important to make real estate like for the people, right? Like normal people don't, they'd be like, okay, cool. That's great. I made it a story. I'm sharing the story. Okay.
Right.
So that's what it's all about, is making it approachable for people. And then like, who knew that I had pink measuring tape? Of course I have pink measuring tape, Jimmy. Okay. But like, this is me at 5:44 this morning at my client's house because I have a sugar rush. Okay. So these are the things that we're doing. This will not save. I don't care to save this for 24 hours. This is just like, oh, Heidi, yeah, she can't handle sugar. Got it. Cool. So this is something that's appropriate for stories. Remember, y'all, I talked about having a creator account and why that's important to me. I want the music. So I had Kanye West, Good Morning on here.
Yes.
And then, yeah, okay. This is me getting ready to talk to you, Jimmy. Hey.
Yes. Yes.
So this is all stuff that's good. It's conversational. I normally like to give people a little something that they can take takeaways from, because not everybody does real estate all day long. A lot of people have a great Uncle Joe that thinks he does real estate all day long, but we want, when somebody's at a dinner party, I want them to be like, hey, my friend Heidi, who's a real estate agent, she said this. I want to be the resource. Okay. So that my stories are more for storytelling and being a resource.
So let's talk about, how did you edit that post? Let's give somebody something practical there. So that's the one, you're just using everything you've got right there, right? So that is literally you just holding your phone, doing that. You're adding some of the little highlight things in there that Instagram provides for you. You're posting it as a story. It'll be on there for 24 hours. Some people miss the concept of a post versus a story. When I was saying do that, yeah, see, this is great. You got all this going on.
I have a bowl to put up so I don't have a double chin.
Yeah.
I've got this light that's currently not working because I'm using it to plug in my phone. But when I did that, I mean, because I had it, I mean, this holds my phone in order for me to do it. This is $20 on Amazon. That's
exactly right. The selfie ring light, $20. Just search it up. It's there and available. Yeah, it's killer. See, this is the thing. Some people get bogged down on this. We live in a beautiful time too, that if you're not sure, how do I post a story? YouTube will show you exactly how to do it. What's the difference between a story and a post? You can get all the information you want. What we want to do today is to encourage you. If I'm looking at this, Heidi, I just ran some numbers. I want to give some people encouragement, because people get worried. Oh, well, I don't have that many people. I don't have this many. You started with 0 basically and have grown it in the short period of time to 2,853 followers. And people will be like, well, gosh, that's not that many followers. Let me tell you what $10 million looks like. I just did this real quick. $10 million divided by 2,850 means that every single follower you have was worth $3,500 worth of production last year.
Oh,
so now think about this. If you're sitting there and you've got literally, I mean, it starts adding up very quickly. Okay. So this is the depth of not needing 10,000. And I would argue if you had 10,000 followers, the depth of relationship might not be as deep as it is now. And that may not have garnered anything else. People get so focused on followers versus engagement. It's engagement, and you got to start somewhere. Whether you've got 3 people that are following you now, start doing the hashtagging, start putting relevant content up, story, also with your post. And I mean, you're a perfect example of how to do it right. Heidi, you did not do this in a way where you went out and just pursued people. You put the content out there in a way that was your authentic self. You did it in a way that attracted people, that was of value to them, and you did it with the hashtags. And now you've grown this thing into something that is literally like an ATM for you. That literally now that because if you'll continue doing these things, your followers are going to keep growing. Your business is going to keep growing. And that's what this is all about. Listen, let's do this because we're coming up on a good length of time we've been on here. I know people got some value out of this. Is there one thing that you would say that you wish you would have known when you first started? Is there one thing you wish you would have known or you would have done more of that we can leave people with today?
If I knew in 2017 that I would make the amount of money that I would now off of something that I thought was a distraction in my pocket and I could do for free, I would be mind blown.
Yes.
Like just making the effort to do it has changed my family. Mm-hmm. It's given me more confidence, believe it or not. And I made a joke on Instagram the other day where it's like, I'm a 6% realtor, but I get paid to make an idiot out of myself on Instagram for free. Right. Cause I'm just myself, and you either like it or you don't like it. And that's totally fine. But being authentic in front of a free service and making the kind of money that I'm making right now is like, I don't know how to say, don't do it. Like,
Right.
there's no reason not to. And just
Yeah.
put forth a little bit of effort every day. And it's social media, make it social, and your pockets will build from it. Like, that's just, why not do it?
Yeah. I love me some Heidi Harris. And
Oh,
I got to tell you this. I know that you guys got something out of this. Please reach out. Listen, if you're looking for some help in Raleigh, North Carolina, gosh, who doesn't want to spend some time with Heidi, you know? And so make sure you're sending folks that way, and reach out, let her know. What's been fun about this, when Heidi and I did one a little while ago about how you started your business from scratch, we're bouncing text about once every couple of weeks now, where people are reaching out that you've impacted their business. And man, that's what you and I are in this for. This is so much fun. I appreciate your transparency. And guys, I know you got something out of this. Reach out to Heidi and let her know how much you appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.